Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel. So in this video I'm going to be checking out the Condor Axe 120. Now I actually got these around the same time or just before they were released in Japan, but with me having a dodgy elbow I haven't been able to throw them, so I thought there's no point in me throwing them until I can test them properly, but my elbow's taken that long to get better. I thought I'm going to review them anyway because I don't think my elbow's ever going to get 100%, so I'm not going to be able to play with them for an intense amount of time anyway, so I thought I'll just get on with it. But anyway, I've tried 3 fin flights in the past, and for me they've never been quite right. I don't know, my darts just don't seem to fly right with them. But these ones are a slightly different shape, so it's a standard flight, but it's got a slightly curved bottom edge, so whether that makes any difference to how they fly I don't know. But Condor Axe are claiming a few things with these. They're claiming that they'll last even longer than the normal Condor Axe. They'll say that there's going to be less deflections because there's one fin less, and there's other things that they say, like you'll get an easier sight to the target and stuff like that. But like a lot of things, I think it really depends on whether it suits you. If it works for you, works with your darts and works with your throw, that's great, but ultimately it's always something that you're probably going to have to test yourself to find out anyway. But I'm interested to see whether they fly any better than other ones that I've tried in the past, and the Condor Axe is certainly one of my favourite moulded flight systems, so let's check them out. Alright, I've got 4 colours in 3 sizes, the long, medium and short or small, whatever you want to call it. I've got the red, the black, the white and the purple. The only one I haven't got is the clear. And as far as I'm aware, I think it says on there on the bottom, it says total length remains the same as the axe, the normal axe. So in terms of the length they're exactly the same, but the wing shape is a standard shape, but it's a slightly different standard. It's kind of like got curved lead and wings. One thing I did notice, is it on the back on here? Oh yeah, it's on here. It says Condor Axe 3 wings model. With its 120 degrees it makes it easy to see the target. With a widened entry angle this will lead to less bounce outs and better groupings of the darts. It increases the hat rate. So I obviously that must be hit rate, unless it means hat-trick rate for soft dart and double rate for steel darts. But obviously the Japanese, and it's a different language, so can expect a little bit of difference sometimes. It says do not eat and refrain from putting it in your mouth, so don't eat them. But what I'm going to do is I'll get them out of the box and I'll show you each colour in close up, but I'm probably going to try I think I'll try the purple ones. I think they might be about right for me. Alright, so there's the red, clear red that is. You've got solid black, solid white and the clear purple. Like I said, the only one I haven't got is the transparent clear ones, but we'll have a look at these ones. So I'll put these ones on a barrel on my trusty old Arrows Predators with about 6 years of muck in the grooves. There you go, don't look if you're squeamish. But these are the short, so the short will be less bendy than the long. I'll just have a quick look at the long just to let you see. But in terms of the feel of them, they feel the same as the axe. That kind of like, it's kind of like strange. It's like a hardish plastic, but it's still got a kind of an element of flexibility to it, and it's got that quite deep groove. But this time you've got, let's have a look. I would think there'd be 3 grooves, one there, on there, yep. So on the other ones, with it being a 4-wing, obviously it'll have 4 grooves, but as you can see, it's like a Y shape. And like I mentioned before, I have tried it 3-fin, it's hard to say that, 3-fin flights. 3-fin flights before, and they've never really suited me. I don't know if it's just because I need a little bit more drag through the air with my throw, but I have a feeling that they probably suit people who have got harder throws, probably because they'll be traveling a little bit faster with less drag. But these have got a slightly different shape, so whether these will fly any different for me remains to be seen. But as I'm spinning it around here, it kind of looks weird. It almost looks as if it's bent when you turn it like that. It's just the shape of the wing turning round it. Looks a bit weird, as if it's broke kind of thing. But if you put it there, obviously you don't get like the effect that you do with a standard, where you see the wings properly the full width. It's only when you start to turn it that you see the full width of the wing. So it's probably got some of the features it's on about, like making it a little bit easier to see because there's less flights in the way, but I struggle to see the board anyway, so it's probably not going to make any difference for me. But whether it'll cause any other features like it mentions, like less deflections, I think a lot just depends on the player and how these things work for you, and it's always a case of you having to try them to find out. Still got the little gap there, which is something that they introduced to stop the stems from breaking when they hit the floor. When they first came out with the Condor axe, a lot of people mentioned that they got breakages there, so then they reintroduced them and they had that little gap. But there's still a good amount of flex, but I think in terms of the all-in-ones that I've tried often, these maybe have a little bit less flex than some, but there you go. So what I'll do is I'll weigh each size, and then I'll try and get some comparison with a normal stem and flight, and I'll do some dimensions on them if I can. Alright, this is the long or the large, so that's 1.63 grams, and the medium 1.54 grams, and the small 1.39 grams. Alright, so I've got the purple smalls on my Harrow's Predator, my trusty old Predators. So let's see how these fly. I've never tried a 3-fin all-in-one, and it did say that these are the first all-in-ones with a free 3-fin flight. Does your head in trying to say that all the time? And as far as I know, they are. I can't remember any others, but there's been like 3-fin flights before, but only in like a single flight. There's been moulded ones and there's been flat poly ones. Well, it was my first throw with them. 2 of them went fairly straight. I'm flying better than I thought, but I think I'd have to play with them a lot longer to be 100% sure. I think they are going through the air a bit quicker, like. But whether they have the other advantages of less deflections and lasting longer, that remains to be seen, and I think it's going to be a long time before I can make my mind up in that regard, because I'm just not playing that much with my elbow being iffy. But first impressions is quite favourable. I wasn't expecting it to fly through the air well at all, to be honest. But I'm gonna have to just play with them every now and then just see how I get on. Oh. Well, I get the feeling that I want to keep on playing, but I probably shouldn't, but I suppose it's good that I've got that feeling. That means there's something about them that I'm liking. But I get the odd one there, like that one. Didn't seem to go through the air quite right. So, like I say, and I get this weird impression every time I look at it. It kind of, I think it's to do with the shape of the flight and the way that notch is. It almost looks like the flight is twisted, but it's not. It's just like an optical illusion, I think. One last throw, like I say. Can't play too long. Ah, bugger. Oh, there you go. So first impressions, it's not too bad actually. So it's kind of annoying really, because I don't want to have to go through another system to find out whether it's better or worse, but it probably looks like I will have to, but that's going to take some time. So like I say, I can't test them fully until my arm's properly better. So it's probably going to be months before I know whether or not they really are better for me than a standard setup. So again, it's what it is. It's something that you've got to try, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then you've lost a bit of money, I suppose, but you can always give them to your friend and that. So that's the end of the video. I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.